It's all about Halloween on today's episode of The Happy House. And it's not one bit scary. We're talking about Halloween parties, planning and hosting them. We'll give you tips, ideas, and tricks so your party is really a treat for all of your guests. Stay tuned for Halloween fun coming up next on The Happy House. Halloween is one of my very favorite holidays because there are so many fun activities you can do with kids. So every year I like to throw a party, and I'm going to share some of my favorite ideas from parties I've thrown over the years. A lot of the things I do actually are very, very simple, and you don't even need to visit the Halloween store. A lot of the things I make are Halloween themed, but they're things that I just have in my house every day. So I'm going to start with invitations because inviting someone to a party is kind of what kicks the whole thing off. So there's actually some really simple and cute ideas for invitations right here. This is simply a piece of cardstock with an invite with all the logistics on a piece of just white printer paper, and I've glued that on top of there. And then I've created this other black cardstock and wrapped it with gauze and put some eyes on it to make it like a little mummy. So this is something, especially if you're having like a neighborhood party, that you could just hand deliver to all of the families that are invited to your party. And then this invitation, again, is really simple. It's just some cardstock with all the details, and I've punched holes in this top cardstock and tied some black ribbon through there and then put eyes on to make it look like a bat. Okay, so when your guests arrive, of course, you want to have your house all decked out and decorated. And again, there's a lot of things that you can use from around the house to decorate. So here is one of my favorite ideas. I've just taken black garbage bags and cut them into strips and then hung them over the window for kind of a spooky effect. For my table coverings, what I like to do is just go to my fabric bin and pick out fabric that is orange and black and just kind of layer it around. So I didn't need a specific tablecloth here. I just basically used leftover fabric to create kind of a festive table covering. Then also on my table, I've put just this mini hay bale. You can also use fabric to cover a lamp or drape on top of a window. I've just attached this fabric using some of that sticky adhesive that peels right off. So once the party's done, I can just put that away. And then I like to use paper chains. These do happen to be a Halloween themed paper chain, but just using orange, black, purple construction paper is lots of fun. Sometimes I think it's fun to write fortunes on the inside of the construction paper and let each guest tear it off, and then they can read their spooky fortune. Planning the menu is one of my very favorite parts of the party, and I like to offer a variety of fun foods, but also try to sneak in some healthy stuff, because especially if you host the party right before trick-or-treating, it's important to give the kids some kind of balance because they might be eating some candy later. So this pizza is actually not made by me. I simply called by my local pizza place, and they made this pumpkin-shaped pizza. But if you wanted to do it at home, simply getting a pizza crust and then creating a stem at the top, and then using your pepperonis to make the face of the jack-o'-lantern is really simple, and kids really like it. And then I've made this veggie tray here into the shape of a skeleton. Again, it's just simply cut vegetables, and I actually found this on the internet, so you can basically pull up the image and have it right by you while you lay out your veggie skeleton, but it's really a fun thing. Kids like to see that as well. We've made these mummy dogs using hot dogs and then crescent rolls that we've cut into strips. You can also put cheese under there if you want to. And then one of my favorite ideas are these ghost bananas. They're simply bananas cut in half, standing on a plate, and then we've put chocolate chips, or you could use carob chips, into the bananas. These jack-o'-lantern oranges are also one of my favorites because it's such a simple thing. I took a plain container of oranges and then just drew a face onto the top of it to make it look like a pumpkin. All very easy ideas but also they're a little bit healthy too, so that's good. Not that it has to be all healthy, because it should be about fun. Moving on, let's talk treats, because that is part of Halloween. It is, after all, trick-or-treating day. So I've made some kind of fun treats here. This is like a little party favor. So I've taken orange Tic Tacs and made this label that says jack-o'-lantern seeds and just put it onto the Tic Tacs. So that is easy. You can see here it started, and then just a little bit of black paper, and fairly inexpensive too. And I mean, it's a really great little parting gift, especially if you have the party not actually on Halloween. Kids can take something to go. These treat bags look like witches' brooms and are very easy. It's 2 brown paper lunch bags, and I've cut the top off. One I left plain, and then the other I cut strips into, put the treats inside, and then inserted this little stick that I found in my yard and tied it closed. I also love these treat bags, which I took Halloween stickers and put on a basic brown paper bag again, and then found photos of my guests and put a photo on there, so everybody gets their own custom treat bag. And then finally, these little witch's hands are obviously just a glove, and I put Smarties in the fingertips and then candy in the rest. This can also be done with popcorn and candy corn. So you could put candy corn into each of the fingers at the end and then put popcorn in it and send that home with people. Actually, at a lot of the parties I throw, I like to have a photo opportunity, because it's a great way to capture memories. It also is a great way to loosen people up. People like to have their different photos taken together. And so I created this very simple backdrop, and I just used canvas that's on a roll. You can get that at your craft store. And used some paint to paint a simple design on there, and then put out a variety of props that people can use to have their pictures taken with. Another fun idea is to create a treat bag. So this treat bag I created using some black felt and some spray adhesive, and I just cut a simple silhouette and then also used spray adhesive or adhesive letters. These are basically sticky felt letters on the back to personalize the treat bag. So you could do this ahead of time for your guests, or you could have them actually make a treat bag at the party, which is another fun idea. A fun and simple cookie to serve at your party are these ghost cookies. It's simply a Nutter Butter peanut butter cookie because of this great shape that looks like a ghost, dipped in white chocolate that you've melted down. A lot of that can just be microwaved, so it's really simple to do. So you dip them in there and then use black gel frosting to make a scary face. Hi, you guys! Who wants some pizza?
And then crazy rock. Can someone pass me one of those? I need a royal picture.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh.
The hand. No, what's wrong?
That's what he said he hoped she would pick up.
Oh my
And
God.
it's exactly where I said I hope she'd chew too.
Oh my God.
The severed hand.
Oh my God. No way. I can't even make that up.
Happy Halloween!
We're outside now, and we're all set up to make our trick-or-treat bags. And we've decided to actually make reusable totes. These canvas totes, you can find them at any craft store, and they're fairly inexpensive. We've decided to make totes that can be used for trick-or-treating, but then also be used after as a book bag or just a bag to carry around your treasures. So the supplies needed for this craft are actually, of course, the totes. And then we have a variety of fruits and vegetables, and we've cut them to expose a variety of prints. So we've cut our apples in half. We've cut the ends off of celery to make a flower-like print. And then we have a variety of peppers and other fruits and vegetables. You can really actually just use anything to make a print. You could use also, if you got really creative and you wanted to, you could cut a design in a potato and do a traditional potato print. But these are fairly simple to prepare and make some really great shapes. We also have fabric paint. So this paint actually will set up and stay on the tote even if it needs to be washed once it's completely dried and set up. And we have trays for our paint to make it easy for dipping. And then of course some paper towels for any kind of cleanup that needs to be done, and paint smocks, because since this is fabric paint, it does stain clothes because it's permanent, obviously. So I think we are ready to get started. Are you guys ready to get started with your trick-or-treat bags? Yeah? So first I'm going to pass around the vegetables, and basically everybody can have their choice of a vegetable to begin with and pick the paint color, and then that veggie or fruit should stay in the paint, but there's plenty to choose from, so we can have a couple different fruits or vegetables for every paint color so people can vary their designs. It's important when you dip the fruit or veggie into the paint is fairly thick, so you might want to blot it off, because if you have it too thick, it doesn't make a defined design. So, okay, I think we're ready. Why don't we give Courtney first chance? What would you like? Courtney, you can just pick something off there. The celery, and then Riley. Ooh, an orange pepper. Emmy, are you ready? Perfect. The celery is a popular item, apparently. Okay, and then Chandler, which one are you gonna pick?
What's that an apple on here?
There's apples.
There's a green one. I'll do this.
A tiny red pepper to start with. Okay. How about you guys? Okay, Emmy.
Good job,
You're
buddy.
gonna
I love the blue paint.
Perfect. And then Ella, do you want to come grab something? Here we go. All right. So everybody has something to start with. Now I'm going to just put these in the center, and once you guys have made your first print, you can choose a different veggie or fruit to use. Before we get started with the paint, since we're wearing costumes and we don't want them to get dirty before the big trick-or-treating day, we're going to put on these paint smocks. So here you are. There you go. And these are nice because they're just really simple. Ready to get started with the paint?
Yeah.
So not too much paint on your fruit or veggie, and then when you get tired of the shape you have, you can grab something else.
I just want to do this thing.
Okay. You can stand up and walk over here. Ooh, look at Emerson with that green. That is going to be awesome. Ooh, good job. Okay, I want to see how that turns out. That might make like a flower. That is cool. What do you think? Do you like it? So Riley decided to take things into her own hands and literally put her hand in paint. But we are going to use this opportunity to make a really fun handprint. Let's see it, Riley. Oh, that is awesome. I'm gonna grab a paper towel because even though this paint doesn't come off of clothes, it does come off of skin. So let's just do,
Because you picked the apple.
let's do, you're trying to pick that apple up, weren't you? Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Perfect. Okay, do you want to try grabbing that apple again, Riley? As you can see, I might have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew by being the only adult here. You might want to call in some backup for this project. Okay. we are going to show you how to make 3 easy Halloween craft items that you can use at a Halloween party. You guys ready? And here they are, yes. Okay, first we are going to show you how to make these really cute bags that look like a witch's broom. These actually have treats inside them. So the first thing we did is color on these little butterscotch candies. We made little jack-o'-lantern faces, didn't we, Ella? Yes? And then that's actually what's going to be inside the treat bag, but you could put anything in there. What would you put in the treat bag?
Milky Ways.
Milky Ways. You heard it there. Okay, so the first thing to make this craft is we cut the top off of 2 different brown bags. Emerson, can you cut off this bag? It's a pretty big scissors. Then we are going to take one bag, this one, and puff the end out, and we're going to cut strips all the way down. Still leaving the bottom closed. We're going to make those slits all the way down. Then our other bag, we're actually going to make shorter slits at the top. Here. Then when we're done, we're going to take the bag with the shorter slits and stick it inside of the bag with the longer slits, because these longer slits are what actually make it look like a broom, and so the shorter bag is what actually keeps the treats inside. So,
But why do we need short ones?
good question. We still want the top to look like a broom too. So we stick those 2 bags, and then
That looks real difficult.
and then we fill it with candy. Ellen and Chandler, can you put some candy in there for me? So fill it with candy. How about you, Emerson? Can you throw some candy in there for me? Perfect. Okay. When we get all of our candy, oh, all right, put it in there. Perfect. Then we're going to take some twine and cut a little piece of twine.
What's twine?
It's just
like
rope.
string.
Chandler, will you cut a little piece of twine for me, like right between my fingers? But don't cut my fingers. Perfect. And would you hand me 1 twig, Emerson? Do you think you could get a twig out of there? Nice. So we're gonna stick the twig in the middle of the bag, like that.
Doesn't seem to be holding.
And simply, well, I haven't tied my twine on. Simply gather up the ends. This is where I might need some help. Ella, can you, if I hold those, can you put the twine around? Perfect. Nice job. Okay. And tie the twine on. And you've got a great little treat bag. These also would be great to use as centerpieces if you had a lot of different tables, just to kind of set the tone of the party. So easy, right? That's something you guys would be able to do all by yourselves, even if you use kid scissors, right? Yeah.
I think.
Okay, now I want to talk about this really fun idea. Look at these treat bags. For treat bags, or else you can also actually use this as invitations. So you can find Halloween stickers or repurpose cards and stick the image onto the treat bag and then find a photo of someone you like. And again, this would be a really fun way to send out an invitation, because if you got an invitation in the mail with your picture on it, wouldn't that be funny? Would you guys like to go to that party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'd like to host the party.
And then, okay, let's talk about this treat bag right here. What do you guys think of that?
Anna. Who's Anna?
Well,
Random name?
random name. Okay. Okay, the first thing we did was cut a silhouette out of this black paper and put it onto this felt, and this is sticky backed felt, and traced around it, and then simply stuck it onto our bag and tied a ribbon for the bow. But it wouldn't need to be that hard. Kids could make their own treat bags by simply cutting a shape. Ella, do you want to try cutting a shape out of this felt? Something you would like to see on a trick-or-treat bag.
Does it have to be a shape?
No, it can be anything. What's Ella making?
I think a lightning bolt.
Really? It's like a mystery. Did it get stuck?
Oh, I got it.
You got it? pumpkin, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Perfect.
Or it
So,
could be squash, either one.
or squash.
It's a pumpkin.
And then do you want to just peel and stick it where you want it on your bag? So that is really easy. This can be done before a party if you want to give it as a gift, or during the party. Kids can make their own bags. I love this sticky felt because it's really easy to use. It comes in a lot of different colors and also letter shapes, which are really fun. Thanks you guys for being my helpers.
Yay! We did it!
To learn more about these crafts and other great crafts for Halloween, visit our website. I'm at Creative Kid Stuff with today's toy pick, which is games. All about games today. Games are one of my family's favorite ways to spend time together, and I have 3 of our favorites here that I'm going to tell you how to play. This first game is called Sneaky Snacky Squirrel, and this game is appropriate for kiddos ages 3 and up, and you can have 2 to 4 players. The object is players take turns spinning the spinner to try to collect the acorns to fill their stump. What's fun is the manipulative part of this game, which is using this squirrel to grab your acorns and fill your stump. So it actually also works on fine motor skills, which is an important thing for preschoolers. Next, moving on to Tenzi. I love this game because it's great for all ages and it moves really, really fast. Players each choose a color of dice and they roll and roll and roll as fast as they can until all of their dice are the same number. So it moves very quickly. It can be played in rounds and it can be played with any age. What's interesting about it actually is younger children are often better at this game because their visual acuity is sharper than older people, so they recognize likenesses in their numbers faster than their adult opponents. Finally, Quirkle. This game is kind of played like a color tile Sudoku. So the object is to get a Quirkle, which is a sequence of 6 tiles, either all the same shape but all different colors, or the same color but all different shapes. Players simply have a hand of tiles and then make a play on their turn and total the points. The player with the most points at the end of the game is the winner. To learn more about these games and more family games, and to register to win this family game package, visit us online.